Thank you for joining me today on Good News with Twanda Black, where we're discovering some of the most inspiring trials to triumph stories and empowerment moments. Call up a friend and let them know it's time for some good news. Welcome to Good News with Twanda Black. Hi, I'm Twanda Black. It's such a pleasure to have you here joining us and enjoying the guests that we bring. So hold on, here's good news. Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Twanda Black, and joining me today, songwriter, singer, award-winning songwriter and singer, SHA Cross. She's an associate pastor at her church, a mom of four boys. I can't imagine. I had two, and a wife and mother, and she does a lot of other things as well. And she's an actress. How about that?
Yes.
How are you today?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Wonderful.
Good.
Gosh, you have an amazingly busy life right now. And I can only imagine what it's like. Talk about your background a little bit. Were you a PK kid? How did you come up?
Okay. Yes. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, first of all, for having me on your show. Thank you so very much. So I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, and of course, I started singing at the age of 4. I grew up in the house with my mother and father, biological. They've been married for 37 years now. And I have an older sister and a younger brother. So I grew up a PK, always at church Monday through Monday for everything, rehearsal, Bible study, deacons meeting, whatever meeting, you name it, I was there in attendance, whether I was asleep on the pew or standing up singing or praising God. So yes, I grew up right here in Atlanta, Georgia. And let me see a little bit about me. I sing, I was praise dancing, and I'm actually about to get ready to start back praise dancing as we are speaking.
Wow.
So working on that. I miss doing that. When I had all 4 of my kids, I was like, I'm going to stop praise dancing, but it's been in my spirit to start back praise dancing. So I'm going to go back and do that. And I've been acting and being a mom, a wife of 17 years, and this has been my journey.
Okay, so you got to tell us, I'm not in that phase of my life, but there are a lot of women in that phase of their life of being mom and wife, but you got so many other things going on. How do you manage it all?
That question comes up all the time. So this is what I tell people. This is what I tell them. And they like, that doesn't make any sense, but to me, it makes sense. So this is my life. I try not to organize myself, because when I organize all the time, what happens is I get frustrated. I'm like, okay, we're going to eat breakfast at 8 o'clock. Then at 10:30, we're going to do this. At 12 o'clock, we're going to do that. And the moment or the second I start running behind, that's when I get frustrated. And I feel like it's just all out of my hands and all out of control. But if I just get up in the morning, pray and say, Lord, order my steps, organize my day, and I just go with the flow of things. Because sometimes I've learned just throughout being a mom, a wife, actress, a praise and worship leader, assistant pastor, everything, TV show host, everything. Throughout all of that, if you start planning things, you won't get everything done because you're crunched for time. So I just kind of let it flow. I just let it flow. Pray, flow, and let it go.
Pray, flow, and let it go.
I really do. I really do.
Yes. You would have to. I mean, that's a lot. And I remember when my kids were little, there was a lot, but you're doing a whole lot more than what I was doing at that time.
Yes.
It's amazing. So how has your singing career intersected with your acting career?
It's a funny story. So, like I said, I've been singing since the age of 4. And I went to a women's conference back in 2014. And at this women's conference, it was at a hotel somewhere downtown. And this lady walked into this hotel, and we were having a women's conference. I was there as the guest artist to sing. And she walked in and stood on the side waiting for, I guess, the conference to be over. After right before the conference was over, she asked the lady of the person that was having the women's conference, can I give an announcement? We didn't know what this lady wanted. She said, next door, we're holding auditions for a movie. And I'm looking for 4 people to come and audition. They can sing, they can dance, they can act, whatever. And we'll be next door. So after your event is over, we'll be here for a few more hours if anybody would like to come over and audition. So me being me, I'm like, let me see what this is all about. I go over next door and the lady says, okay, all these people are standing in line. And I mean, the line was wrapped. So I'm standing there and she walks out and say, does anybody know how to cry or write on the dime, or do anybody know how to act as though they're just losing it because they just got tragic information? And I'm like, I could do that. So I skipped the line. She brought me in. As she brought me in, I did exactly what they asked me to do. They were telling everybody else, we're going to give you a call. We're going to give you a call. They didn't say they were going to give me a call when I came out of the room. She said, can you meet with us on Monday? Wow. And that Monday took me all the way from that day and year 2013, 14, all the way up into 2021. And I still been working with the same people. And it took me on further to do different other casting jobs as far as, let's see, I've done Greenleaf. I was in the choir and in the congregation on Greenleaf in 2 seasons. I've done The Resident. I've done a lot of different things. Come Sunday with Bishop Carlton Pearson, I sang in the choir in that movie. And I got some other things in work that I'm not allowed to talk about as of yet. But I'm excited. So singing and acting, it kind of goes together, but just in different venues or different places. So, but I love it.
That's amazing. So talk about your singing career. I did not meet you until, when? I can't remember what year it was, but
it was 2000, and I know exactly when it was, 2016.
Really?
2016. I met you at a women's conference downtown Atlanta, and I was introduced to you through mutual friends, and they were like, you gotta get with her and hear her sing and everything. And I just remember when I first met you, you were like, this is what I love about you. This is what I love about you. You're so honest. You are so honest. When I first brought my project to you and let you hear it, you was like, the lyrics are wonderful. The message is phenomenal. I want you to work on the music. The music is everything. The sound, how you feel it, how you portray it. And I'm like, okay, it didn't hurt my feelings. I didn't feel less than another artist. I felt like this is great because I felt like it was a blessing and rebuke at the same time. And it allowed me to mature in a lot of different other areas in my life. Like, I could appreciate you for being such a honest person and a true friend. True friends tell you the truth.
Girl, I don't even root for that. That is hilarious.
True friends tell you the truth.
I do not remember that. But,
yes, I went back.
God.
I went back into the studio. And I re-recorded every single song just so I could make sure it was right.
Yeah. Now, what song was that?
So it was I Made It.
I Made It.
Yes, I made it. You was like, it's great. It just the music needs to be. And I was like, thank you. And I was taking notes like what I need to do and what's next. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Oh yeah, that was a great song.
You now, grow that way.
Was that your first song to take you out into your environment? It was.
Yes, I Made It was my very first single that was released in 2017. Mm-hmm. Yes, so that's been the one, and we're getting ready to re-release it. So I'm excited about that.
All right. So I know that you work a lot with a very dear friend of yours, Luke G. I love Luke G. Yeah, I love him.
Yes.
He is a gem. He really is.
Yes, ma'am.
And so now, are you songwriting with him, or is he just producing with you? What's the relationship?
So I write all of my music. Every song that you've heard, I've written. And he produces, and then when we're halfway through or whatever, I always ask him, can you do background with me? And before I could get it out, he's like, I hear something. So he helps me arrange and produce. I write it, and he's like, you wrote this? Really? He's like, man, this is amazing. And I'm like, I just give all glory to God. So he produces and he sings background with me. It's really just the two of us doing background and music. Anything that you hear me, it's him and I.
That is awesome.
Yes.
So awesome. To have a relationship like that, a lot of people probably would kill to have that relationship with a producer, you know?
One-stop shop. He produces, he mixes, he masters, and I'm like, everything is done right. And he plays as well. Yes. So everything is like right, one shop, as they say, right there. Yes. I and his wife is such a blessing too. She does like different graphics and websites and everything. So.
Oh yeah, I've met her. She's beautiful as well.
Yes.
So I made it. Then what came next?
I made it. Unspeakable Joy.
Yeah.
And then Lost in Your Presence.
Right.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Just beautiful songs. Talk about your writing process.
My writing process. The song I Made It came out of a place of, the doctors told me when I was 11 years old, I told my parents that I would never be able to have children. And my mother said, we're going to believe God for miracles. And they said that because I had a lot of different female issues going on at the time. And then I got diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. A lot of people don't know I have rheumatoid arthritis unless I tell them. And so I was really like kind of sick as a child a lot. And I would still press my way and pray and fast. And War Room was done now, but I was doing War Room years ago. That movie, I was in my closet, I was praying, I was writing things on the wall, I was fasting and believing God for a healing. And my apostle got up to preach one Sunday, and she said, start declaring that you've already made it. She wasn't specifically talking to me, she was talking to the congregation, that you already made it. Throughout anything you're dealing with, whatever you're going through, you already won. You already made it. You are a conqueror. So I went the next day that night and started writing. I made it. And from there, I hadn't even made it, hadn't even arrived to where I am now. But I was saying it, speaking it, believing it, decreeing it, declaring it, speaking it by faith. And the song came out of it.
Yes.
That's how it happened.
Yeah.
So writing for me is a place of some things that I've dealt with or experienced, but also just loving to write. I also write poetry. So when you write poetry, you still writing music.
That's right. It can be one and the same. It really can. You have some talented children. So,
yes.
All of them are doing something.
Yes, they are.
Talk about Living Life with SHA, your TV show, because we get to meet your family in that show.
Yes. So Living Life with SHA is my new television show on XOD Network and also PGN TV. And listen, my family is something, okay? When you say my life is busy, yes, my life is extremely, extremely busy. My 4 kids and my husband loves to grill. We haven't done that yet, but he loves to grill. And he's also a musician as well. He's a bass player. And a lot of people don't know that, but he is a bass player. And he acts like Joe Jackson when it comes to those boys, because all of the boys play instruments. They all.
We're not talking about the abusive Joe Jackson.
Oh my goodness.
We talk about the fact that
put your fingers right.
Yeah. Right.
Get your fingers right. Did you practice today? Have you done this today? And I'm like, oh my goodness. Ooh. And so he's not even the one singing. I'm the one singing, but I'm like, this is crazy, like, wow. So I just let him have his way in that area with the boys musically. Also, my oldest one, Jalen, he's about to turn 16.
Yeah. He's
football, basketball, baseball, and he still does background acting on the side. So he does that when he has time. All of them dance. I have 2 boys that are getting ready to go into Dance 411 here in Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
The middle boy, he plays the organ, the keyboard, the drums, and
Wow.
everything. So as a matter of fact, we're going to film tomorrow. He's actually filming a movie on tomorrow. So but between him filming and having baseball practice today, and the oldest one has a baseball game today. I don't even know how I do it. I just do it.
Exactly. That's what I used to say. You know, I never looked at my schedule until it was time, because if you looked at it in advance, it's overwhelming.
Yes.
So I would take it day by day. Let me just deal with today.
Yes.
What I'm doing later, but let me deal with today. Yeah, I totally understand.
Listen,
that. And you're the mama taxi too, so you got to drive everybody around.
That's what I was getting ready to say. I went to Nashville a few months ago, and when they called, they were like, "Can you come next week?" And I was like, "Oh, next week? Okay, sure." I said yes before I even got a date. How about it was one of my son's birthday that they needed me in Nashville. So I went to Nashville, I sang, I turned around and came back for his birthday party that I planned in less than 24 hours.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh.
It happened.
Bless her, Jesus. Bless her.
Please, Lord. I need it.
Bless her. Give her grace. You need all the grace you can get. Lord have mercy.
And it's more serious now with this virtual learning.
Yes, because you have to be in place for the kids, for the teachers. It's a whole different ball game right now. It really is.
It's something funny. Real quick, I want to tell you something funny. My son's teacher texted me while I was in Nashville last week, and she says, "I was wondering if Jeremiah was coming to class today." I said, "He's supposed to be in class right now." She says, "Is it possible you can have him turn his camera on?" So I'm backstage. I'm texting the people who's keeping him. I won't have to say who, but who's ever watching him. I'm texting saying, "Can you turn his camera on?" So I'm on stage getting ready to go out and sing, and I'm texting at the same time saying, "Turn his camera on." And the teacher texts back and says, "His camera is on. Thank you, Miss Cross." She had no clue I was all the way in another city.
Wow. Hey,
so I'm still working.
We do what we have to do, honey. We do what we have to do.
Yes.
So talk about your future. I mean, you got all this stuff going on right now. I know you want to start praise dancing. Beyond that, what else are you going to add to your life?
Yes.
What more can you add to your life?
Well, I'm excited. I got a phone call earlier this morning asking about some dates, and it wasn't like 3 or 4 dates. It was like, we need to do a tour, and I'm like, okay. So I'm like, okay. So I gotta fit everything in to God's plans. I always say that I don't ever want to be out of the will of God. Whatever He has for me, I want to make sure I'm lining up with the Lord and my husband, that my household is still ran smoothly, whether I'm in it or whether I'm not here. It still can run. It still can run. Because you're not effective to, your family if you're just being out in the public doing everything else. You need to make sure household is taken care of as well. So I did not say yes right away. What I said was, let me pray about it and let me get back with you. So I do know that some dates are coming up for some things that's going on. So my future is looking like some tours maybe, and some television sitcoms maybe, and some movies, and still working on living life with SHA. That's pretty much it. Just focused.
Woo-woo. Yes.
Focus.
The tour probably, if they can arrange it to do summer while the kids are at home and not in school, would be ideal for you.
Yes.
So hopefully it'll all work out. I know, it'll work out.
It's definitely going to work out. And what else do I have going on? I'm nominated for Praise Factor Award season 14. So we've been voting, and I have different family and friends that's been voting, and we got to keep voting. I'm like, yes,
make it work.
Yes. So I got that going on as well.
Yes. I mean, that's how all the other big platforms do the same thing. So wait till you get to the Grammys and all of that. It's gonna be all popping.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Tell people how they can reach out to you, learn more about you, give your social media.
Yes. So on Instagram, I am pastor_Shay_cross. On Facebook, it's Shay Cross. And on my fan page, it's Pastor Shay. So you can reach me there. And if you're looking to book me, you can also go to my website. It's www.pastorshaycross.com.
All right.
And we make sure we get back with you.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes.
Carving out a little bit of time for me. My God.
You're welcome.
God bless you, and thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining me here at Good News with Twanda Black. I pray that you've enjoyed our special guest for today. Look, follow me on Facebook at Twanda Black ATL, or on Instagram at The Real Twanda B. God bless you, and keep on coming back, all right?